Hello and welcome back to Alex Goes Sailing. Today I'm trying to sort out this mast raising system. And I'm just going to cut up these poles down here so I can use them in getting the mast up properly. Those ones to secure it side to side, and that one we've already got, we've just got to shorten the end of it. Right, I've already marked off where I need to cut it off, just at the end here, because the railing at the front, when this comes down with the halyard, which will now be the furling system, it just gets stuck on the railing. It just needs to be a touch shorter and it can pass through and get the whole system all the way through. So it's not just there almost up but still wobbling because the stays haven't tightened up. So I've got my angle grinder, I've got my stylish glasses, and yeah, I'm gonna get to cutting. Also, shorts are not the best idea. See, much shorter. I've just gone around and deburred it a little bit as well. So this is good to go, and now I'm going to sort out those supporting arms. So here I have my two poles. One of them has this fitting on the end of it. This one's a little bit broken as well, but I can order new ones. They're only like £3 each. This one has this kind of fitting, which has a lot more play in it. But this one, because it's such a tight fit, when that would go on one of these U-bolts, it would actually just get stuck on there and twist, which you don't want. You want it to move. So on the lower where it mounts the U-bolt, I'm going to use this fitting because it's got to rotate around the U-bolt when it raises up. So this is enough slack to allow for that. And then on the spinnaker pole mount on the mast, there's a little ring, and this will just clip onto it. And there shouldn't be any movement, so there'll be no twisting of this at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an end off each of them, make sure both poles are exactly the same length, and then just switch the fittings over, and then you've got two identical poles with the same amount of play in them, and they'll allow the pole to move freely, which is exactly what I want. Now with switching these ends over, this pole's a little too long, so I'll cut it off, whack out that mount there, and then undo this one and swap it over, and hopefully get them to exactly the same length. So much corrosion. Yuck. Look at that, you can see all the corrosion on it. Aluminium, stainless steel, don't mix. Right, now for this pole, as this end, I've just cut it off because this one has to be quite a bit shorter. And then I'll just stick this in the vise and give it a whack, and that should come out, and we're going to swap them over. I do think I'm going to get brand new ends for here, because these are one and tatty and one of them's broken, so I might as well. But for now, for testing, I'm just going to swap it on, and then we can change it back later. Right, got that bung here, got a little thing, see if we can tap it out. Then we're just going to squeeze it to all kingdom come. There we go. Slowly rotate it, keep on cracking, and then the aluminium just shears, so that's pretty perfect. So yeah, we got that off. We'll slide this into the other one and then try and cut it to the right length, and then we should be good to go to put the mast up. Right, I've just got this pop riveted on, nice and tidy, not going anywhere, although we're going to be changing these and whatnot. So now I've just got to put this end on the other pole. Right, look at that end, that's all cut perfectly. So now we just slide on the other end. Right, I've got this end exactly where it needs to be. What I've got to do is drill little pilot holes here and here, and on the other side here and here, and then I could screw in those stainless steel screws that they had before. Right, so I have 2 poles, exactly the same now, same ends too. Right, it's now time to put up the mast. First time since we've done all the little projects on it, and got Daniel here to help me as well. Hopefully this goes well. First time I put up the mast stints, so let's get cracking. So the first thing to do is get the boat ready for lifting the mast up. All we have to do is slide the mast back using the slider we made in the last episode, and then just drop the pin in and set up the A-frames. I did time this stage and it took about 7 minutes, which isn't that bad at all. That's the bad side. That one popped up again. Right, we're part way up the mast raising. We're just stopping every so often just to test it. And this end is completely split. So that one just keeps popping off. But I mean, if I get new ends, it'd be perfect, because the other side's doing a great job, and it's like, well, I mean, we're stopped halfway up, which we've never done before. It's pretty smooth and calm, isn't it? Yeah. And we can actually run around and untangle some of these wires if they ever get caught up. So, I mean, that's pretty good. All I need is new ends. Right, that was a semi-success, but there are a few things that didn't work, so I'll show you what those are now. Right, so first things first, we had one of the wires through the spreader hole tangled up, which pretty much always happens on board this vessel. So that was one issue. The second issue is, we already knew this, but this end, spinnaker pole end, is split, and it just kept on popping off, so pretty much useless. So when we get new ones, it'll work perfectly fine, but you could see in the video how smoothly it went up, and these just work perfectly. The other issue is it doesn't quite go all the way down, which isn't too much of a problem, but I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to get the furler all the way down. Right, I've jerry-rigged this for the time being. I've made some adjustments to some of the turnbuckles down the sides, and see if I can make it go up a little nicer. And still got the issue at the front where it doesn't go all the way down, but it goes much further now, so it should be easy enough to do. And at the back it should be fine, so I'm just going to test this out. Now, would you look at that? The mast isn't even fully up. I've just got it cleated off, and I'm off the boat, which I wouldn't normally do. It's quite scary, but yeah, quite interesting. As you can see, that's about as far as it goes down, just because of the pulley block. So what I'll end up doing is get the cutter rig lower baby stay halyard and bring that down and attach it, and then I can release this, hook that on, do the baby stay and the rest of them. Also, I've put on these little zip ties to keep these upright, because they used to drop down and bend all the time. As you can see, that one's completely bent, so I've got to get a new one of them. But yeah, this big one's fine. It comes up just behind this one, and then forward ones we can put on afterwards. But yeah, also my jerry rig pole works quite well. Super easy and really quick, so we'll be very, very rapid this season. Be like an F1 team. Right, now it's sometime after I was doing all of the mast raising, and I must have raised the mast another 4 to 5 times, and that weak joint on the pole finally snapped after I did all my tying with bungee cords and whatnot. So I've managed to pick up some brand spanking new ones, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is get these ones out on both poles, and then just pop these in and put a pop rivet on each side or something simple, nothing too crazy, and then put that back on the boat. And that's that entire system finished off, and we can end this episode out. 2 ends are now finished, so let's go attach it to the boat. Right, now that I've got this project squared away, I can crack on with some other ones, but for now, that's it for this episode, and I'll see you guys next time.